Hi, welcome to week one. Today we just want to walk you through the course so that you have a bit of understanding of what you're getting yourself into. To do that, I just want to walk you through a bit about course spaces, the assignments, the syllabus, and that sort of thing, and how basically we will set up each week of material for you. And so in order to begin that, let's just kind of first call our attention to some of these things under general and walk you through what those kind of are and what they have to do with. The first thing that you should make note of is this course syllabus here, so that you can kind of understand the course from a high-level overview. I also want to call your attention to the textbook. This is the textbook that we will use the course. To save you money on buying a real textbook, I've actually written this textbook for you. It's probably not at this point as good as a textbook that you might find for $100 or so, but I thought the trade-off in cost was probably worth it. And therefore, I do have a forum for you to use throughout the semester. So if you identify edits or changes, any errors, anything you want expanded upon that needs to be corrected, anything that's confusing, sections that need better examples, you can use this Improve the Textbook forum as a way to provide feedback. Because my vision would be that this tool would allow us to get away from the academic publishing industry model where we have 30 students buy a textbook for $100 when we have a lot of material and expertise, both on my behalf, but also for all of you who are, I think, in many ways, the real experts in public health research and evaluation, because many of you are actually going to have careers engaged in public health work. Whereas academics who tend to write textbooks generally don't have as much of that kind of on-the-ground experience that I think is very vital to understanding and giving practical advice, to giving practical guidance on how to conduct health research and evaluation in those settings. Anyhow, the next thing I want to call your attention to is this evaluation proposal assignment guide. The assignment guide basically walks you through the main aspects of the course. Largely, this course will revolve around one major assignment, but you'll turn in portions of that assignment throughout the term. In a moment, I'll go ahead and explore these various resources with you, but just to give you an overview, you should pay attention to that and spend some time looking over that assignment guide, especially because it's week one, it's going to become relevant. Announcements for the course will be posted in the announcements forum. There's also a place for you to ask me or Dr. Landy questions. And then also, as you'll see in the textbook, each section has some kind of learning activities that you're free to engage in. They're not required, but I do find that they're good ways to help prepare you for the quizzes and looking for additional ways to engage. Now, we don't have the answers for all of those developed and available for you. And so you can share your answers in the learning activities section and engage with other students who are also completing those at the end of each chapter. And so that's a really good opportunity to get a little bit extra out of the course. And then, let me erase this stuff. When it comes to week one, is what we have to consider is the welcome video. That's just a bit of introduction about me. I do want you to read the course syllabus so that you're kind of read the terms and conditions before you sign, type sort of thing, before the add drop date, that is. I also would hope that you would share your name, your pronouns, a little bit about you and your work and what your interest in the course is and what you hope to get out of it under this course participant introductions. That way we can all get to know, I know a lot of you know each other, and I know many of you from previous terms as your TA, but I think having a bit of that introductions is always good. And then finally, you will sign up for your evaluation proposal groups this week. And I'll get into that a bit more when we talk about the assignment guide. But you can arrange with people that you already know or other people in the course about which group you want to sign up for. This is a first come, first serve thing, and there are kind of limited opportunities with each. We can debate or negotiate what to do with those various things. But hopefully you'll be able to sign up and get the kind of scenario you want. And so let's start by going to the course syllabus. And let's start with the About This Course section where we do, we mention what the textbook is, we give you the objectives, and we have pre-co-requisites, epidemiology and biostatistics should already be kind of taken. And let's cover the assignment. So basically is how this course is structured is there's a reading quiz 1, reading quiz 2, and then all of these are really the same assignments. All of these are kind of constituent components worth 3% that work together to be added into this final evaluation proposal, final draft. And this will allow me to give you a little bit of feedback on various components. These are essentially done every week that you don't have a quiz. And so there are, I think, 10 of these kind of constituent assignments that just make sure that you're grasping the material so that when we grade your evaluation proposal, there aren't any surprises. And so I think that's useful and important for everyone. And so the information about these various assignments, as I mentioned, let me go there. The information about these is under the evaluation proposal assignment guide. So if you open up that here, is what you can see is that we've got these scenarios. They give you an intervention, and so each of these interventions are described in kind of greater detail on a website that describes the intervention. And they also provide you with an organization that is the sponsor of your evaluation. And ultimately, you will complete these assignments relevant as if you were doing an evaluation of one of these interventions with one of these sponsors. And so each one gives you the goal of the assignment. It gives you the step-by-steps on how to conduct the assignment, what the criteria are, and how it will be graded. Now, it's important to remember that this is a group assignment, and so you should be working collaboratively on each of these or reviewing each other's work if maybe you're splitting it up. Multiple, each person takes one or two of the assignments or something like that. But it's important that all of you are getting into this and getting engaged, because this is one of the core ways that you're going to learn the material of this course, is from actually doing it. Because I find research and evaluation isn't something that's easily learned if you're not actually engaging and doing it. And all of this works together to create the final assignment. The final assignment, of course, has a lot more requirements of criteria, of what needs to be for graded. Grading will be out of 25 points of that final assignment. I've also attached here at the end a little example, not quite example, but an outline of the evaluation proposal that kind of gives you an idea of the sort of deliverable you should be turning in at the end of the semester. And a lot of these components here will just be the same components that you've been completing in the weekly assignments. And so hopefully that makes sense to you. If not, make sure you can ask a question, the question and answers forum. But that's going to be important. So let's get back to the syllabus, because those are the assignments that are going to be important for you this term. There's also the weekly schedule. The weekly schedule is basically the same thing you see on the first page. It basically just says what chapter you'll be reading and which assignments you'll be completed and when they're due. Most of that information is also available on the front page, but do pay attention to these due dates. Generally, everything's due Friday at 11:59 p.m. on the week that it's assigned. Hope that makes sense. We can be flexible and we can discuss, and you can request additional time if you need it for some of these additional ones. But generally, that should be the deadline. There is under, I believe, About This Course, or, oh no, it was under assignments. There's information about extensions, so you may contact me or the TA for an extension on the due date. And so just make sure you do that if you need an extension for whatever reason. Note that without kind of pre-approved reasoning, there is no late accepted. And so there's no exceptions to that except those that are required or mandated. But generally speaking, you feel sick coming on, just get to me before it's due. Once it's due, though, we don't accept anything. So that might be flexible depending on, maybe we give you a new assignment, maybe we, this is really, I think, most important when it comes to quizzes, because we need kind of everyone to have finished the quiz before I release grades for the quiz and that sort of thing. So That's why that is that way. But we can talk if you have particular issues or things. Just always talk to me. Email. I'm generally pretty responsive to email, especially during the weekdays, and so that is available to you. And so all the rest of this table of contents here for the syllabus is important. Make sure you go through each page and get the information you need. And then you'll be good. So that's pretty much everything. Like I said, the last thing you'll need to do is sign up for your group. And so to do that, you just pick a choice from the list. You can show group descriptions for a little bit more information about those. Like I said, you should organize this quickly. I am open to if you get stuck with one that you don't want to do, and your whole group kind of agrees on a specific intervention that has lots of good documentation. You see like this, for all of these interventions, there's tons of great documentation. And so if you can find an intervention that you want to do that has lots of documentation, then I'm open to letting you change your intervention and your sponsor as well. But that needs to be arranged really this first week, because the assignments from here on out just start, they get going. So that's why I kind of selected some for you, so that you don't have to go through the work of finding one and on top of everything else. And so that's really the gist for week 1. And week 2, you'll read your first chapter, chapter 1 of the textbook, which we'll kind of go into in a video for week 2. And then also you'll complete the evaluation proposal logic model assignment. And so information about logic models are in chapter 1. So as you're reading, pay attention to what's required as part of the logic model assignment. And again, information about assignments can be found right here at Evaluation Proposal Assignment Guide. So that's week 1. Welcome to the course. I'm excited to get started and to look forward to moving forward with groups and all that sort of stuff. So have a good semester, or have a good week, and also hopefully a start off to a good semester. Okay, take care. Bye.